Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. And welcome to our final WSL preview of each team. We are obviously looking at today at West Ham United. New manager in for the Hammers this season, Rhian Skinner coming in after her spell at Tottenham Hotspur. So it's going to be a period of transition to start the Hammers season. New manager, some new signings into the club, and it's going to be a bit of a turnover in that sense of how they can do. Summer signings they've made, they've brought in Emma Harries from Reading, they've brought in Jessie Stapleton, Megan Walsh as well. So it took a bit of time for West Ham to get some business, and Rika Oweki as well. But it did take time for West Ham to get some business done because of how late Rhian Skinner came into the side. But the squad that they've still got is still very good enough to perform well. Big loss for them is obviously losing both Lucy Parker and Grace Fisk, two very good centre backs for them last season, and losing both of them to Liverpool and Aston Villa respectively is going to be a bit of a big blow. And then another player who won't be with the team this season but is still contracted to them is obviously midfielder Dagny Brynjarsdottir, who will be on maternity leave after she announced earlier on this summer that she is expecting her second child. So congratulations to Dagny and her family in that situation. But that is going to be a big blow for the Hammers this season, because the height of Brynjarsdottir from set pieces, every time there seemed to be a corner or a free kick, the Hammers seemed to aim for Brynjarsdottir and she could get connected with it. And just her midfield work in general was absolutely fantastic and was really key to how they played. So yeah, I think that's going to be a bit of a big hole for them to try and fill. But otherwise, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the Hammers do get on under Rhian Skinner this season. I look at their first couple of games in the 2023-24 season. It's a very tough reading for them. So they start off with a home game against Manchester City before travelling to Brighton and Chelsea, and then they conclude October with a home game against Liverpool. So really tough start to the season for West Ham. Chelsea and Manchester City, you would say on paper that they would be the winners of that game against West Ham, and then Brighton and Liverpool, anything can happen in those two games and anyone can win that. So it's definitely something that obviously is going to be very intriguing to see how that happens. A player I'm excited to watch for them is Emma Harries, coming in from Reading, the 21-year-old. Looks a very exciting player. If they can get her fully fit and firing goals, then I think that can definitely help the Hammers move up the table. I don't think they should be too worried about relegation personally this season. I do think there's teams in the WSL that are going to be a bit worse off than the Hammers. However, will Brynjarsdottir be as big of a miss as I'm expecting? I do think so personally. I'll be intrigued to see how they go about replacing her in a sense. Obviously, she's still at the club, but not being there still is going to be big for West Ham this season. So anything can happen for the Hammers this season, but I do expect them to be well enough in a position that they are going to be staying up in the WSL. Right, let me know in the comments section how you think West Ham will do, how you think the rest of the WSL will do this season. And if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, make sure you go back and check them out, and that you are subscribed to this channel with post notification bell turned on so you never miss a video of ours. And if you want to have a look at our full in-depth preview and want to listen to our podcast, go to any podcast site and just type in Women's Football Talk and you'll come up with our podcast there. And make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram for all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. In the meantime, we'll see you soon.